Hello, it is I. Now, some people buy supercars for their history, some for their luxury, and some for their godly sounding engines. But supercars are super expensive, making them unattainable to the average person. However, there are cheap alternatives to these supercars which may not drive like a supercar but certainly do sound like one. And today I decided to compile 10 examples into this video. So here are 10 cheap cars which sound like supercars. Now before getting into this video, yo, that's a really cool shirt, I really like that. Oh, thank you, but I don't want you to like my shirt. Oh, so what do you want me to like? This video. 4,000 likes is the target as per usual. Liking the video is free and it helps out so much more than you can imagine. And seeing as over half of you guys watching right now have not subscribed, do consider subscribing down below. We are on the road to 200k and I love having new faces here on the channel. Thank you very much, and now let's get to the first car, which is the Lexus IS250. The IS250 is the sort of car you'd expect Roger from the local croquet club to drive, but it's certainly not a boring car, as under the bonnet lays the 2.5 litre Toyota V6, which can sound incredible with an aftermarket exhaust system. How good does that sound? It actually kinda sounds like a GTR in a way. Now that's just uncanny. Now you're probably thinking, why didn't I mention the 350Z? That's a Nissan and surely that sounds more like a GTR. Well, it does sound similar to a GTR, but it's a little too raspy and trumpety, whilst the IS250 sounds just like a GTR except a little higher pitched. So I had to mention the IS250 in this video. It's pretty much a rear-wheel drive practical version of the R35 GTR, the BMW 760iL. The 7 Series is BMW's full-size luxury saloon car, brought into production in 1977, and with their 4th Gen 7 Series you can get it with a 6-litre N73 V12, the same one you'd get in the Rolls-Royce Phantom in fact. Now of course this engine is very muffled and refined like you'd expect on a luxury saloon car, but what happens if you switch up the exhaust, I hear you say? Well, the YouTuber It's Joel got his hands on the 760iL, straight piped it, and it ended up sounding like a Lamborghini Murcielago. How mad is that? Just a quick comparison. Here's a Murcielago revving, and here's that 7 Series revving. That is very surprisingly similar sounding. So if you love the sound of a Murcielago but want to feel like you're driving a Rolls Royce, then I reckon the 760iL is the perfect car for you. The Ford Mondeo ST220. The Ford Mondeo, despite not being British, is one of the most British cars to ever set tyre on earth. See what I did there? Set foot on earth, set tyre on earth? Okay, I'll stop. Anyways, there was a sportier version of the Mondeo too, called the ST220, and it came with a 3-litre V6 which was featured in a sports car. Quite an iconic British sports car which is very underrated, as this 3-litre Ford Duratec V6 was used in the Noble M12, though with the Noble it was twin turbocharged, but it still sounds surprisingly similar to the Mondeo. Very similar sounds. So if you love the sound of an M12 but don't have 50 grand in the bank, the Mondeo is the way to go. The C5 Audi RS6 Avant. The RS6 has always been the ultimate German family car, and the C5 RS6 was no exception, as it was powered by a 4.2 litre V8 engine. With twin turbochargers, yep, this family car was powered by a twin turbo V8, producing 450 brake horsepower. And coincidentally, there was a very expensive supercar that's also powered by an Audi derived twin turbocharged 4.2 litre engine. In fact, it's the exact same V8 engine, and it's found in the Spiker C8. Yep, that Dutch supercar that everybody was talking about in the early 2000s, which everybody's now forgotten about, was indeed powered by a twin turbo Audi V8. And unsurprisingly, it sounds pretty similar to the RS6 as well. I mean, have a listen to this RS6. And now the Spiker. Pretty similar if I do say so myself. Hence, if you're looking to buy a stylish, rare, head-turning Spiker C8 supercar, don't. The RS6 is cheaper. The 7th gen Toyota Celica. People really underestimate this Celica as it's front-wheel drive and not as powerful as they like it to be. But despite these supposed flaws, it's actually quite an amazing car. And with great examples going for around 2.5 grand, it's pretty affordable too. Now you could get the Celica with 2 different engines, the 1ZZ FE or the 2ZZ GE. And the 2ZZ happens to be the exact same engine used in cars like the Lotus Exige Prestige, and Elise. Yep, latest sports cars use Toyota engines, and strangely they sound near enough identical to one another. I mean, here's the sound of the Lotus. And here's the Toyota. You would not be able to tell apart these cars from their sound. So if you want a car that sounds like a Lotus Exige but is a little heavier, front-wheel drive and wears a Toyota badge, the Celica is the perfect car for you. The Maserati Quattroporte. Now if you saw a Maserati, the first one to come into your mind probably won't be cheap. However, they are the kings of depreciation, with some Quattroportes on sale for around 6 to 8 grand. And not only are you getting a car with a Maserati Trident for so cheap, but one with a glorious sounding Ferrari V8 engine too. Now yes, this engine is paired to a very sluggish automatic gearbox that's simply terrible, but this is a car from almost 2 decades ago, where the peak of technology was the Nokia 3310. So of course it's a very outdated car, but that doesn't stop it from sounding fantastic. How seductive does that sound? In fact, it's near enough the exact same engine found in the Alfa Romeo 8C, one of the greatest sounding supercars of all time. What a lovely symphony. But despite the Alfa sounding so incredible, I still think the Quattroporte sounds just that little bit better. And with 8Cs going for around 200 grand, it's a no-brainer to get the Mazda. The Audi S8. The S8 is like the Rolls-Royce Phantom of Audi's lineup. Luxurious, big, and very powerful. However, unlike the Phantom that comes with a refined, quiet 6.75 litre V12 engine, the S8 is powered by a 5.2 litre V10, which is not refined in any way, shape, or form. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Lamborghini Gallardo also happens to be powered by a 5.2 litre Audi V10, near enough the exact same one found in the Audi S8. And because of this, they sound near enough identical to one another. I mean, here's what the Gallardo sounds like. And this is what the S8 sounds like. Now there's a slight difference, but they are scarily similar. Hence, if you like Lamborghinis but also like practicality, the S8 is the car for you. The supercharged R53 Mini Cooper. Now Mini Cooper S's follow a simple recipe. Compact body, 4-cylinder engine and a little bonnet scoop. Speaking of the engine, you can get these minis with a range of different ones, including one with a supercharger that actually whines like a powerful supercharged muscle car. Mad stuff. So what supercar does this Mini sound like? Well, I reckon it sounds a little bit like the Ariel Atom. Now yes, I know the Ariel Atom is powered by a K20 Honda engine, but you can barely hear the engine. It's just trumped by the sound of the supercharger, just like the Mini. Tell me it doesn't sound like the Mini. Despite being two completely different engines, they sound near enough identical to one another. So if you want an Ariel Atom that can take you to the shops and fit groceries in, get this Mini, they're practically the same car. The Jaguar XFR. The XFR is Jaguar's sportier, high-performance version of their standard XF family saloon car, and it was powered by a very crackly, supercharged 5-litre V8 engine. And it sounds identical to the sound of the Jaguar F-Type. Very similar, right? Well, that is because it's the exact same engine. Yep, you can get a car with the engine of the F-Type with more seats and a bigger boot for a third of the price. So if you're looking to get a menacing V8 Jaguar F-Type, wait for them to depreciate, then buy one. You can't say no to an F-Type. The Mercedes CLS63 AMG. The most legendary AMG Mercs are known for their incredible sounding 6.2 litre naturally aspirated V8 engines, as seen on cars like the C63, E63, and the Mercedes supercar the SLS. What an incredible sounding car. Now you'd think that to own a car like this you need a couple £100,000, but surprisingly you don't, as this CLS63 is powered by near enough the exact same engine found in the SLS. But unlike the SLS, which goes for around £150,000, you could find used CLS63s for around 15 grand. So you don't get the same power and agility that an SLS gives you, but you do get a very similar sounding car. Yep, you can get that sound for 15 grand. Bargain. Thus, if you're looking for a practical, cheaper alternative to the SLS, the CLS63 is the perfect car for you. And that's the end of the video. Really hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you want to see more videos just like this one, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are trying to hit 200k by the end of this year, so any help would be much appreciated. Also, make sure to leave a comment down below. It helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm, and I'll try and get to as many of you guys as possible. Thank you very much, and I'll catch up with you guys very soon. Until next time, have a good one, guys. Stay safe, stay inside. Until next time, cheers.
My dineros, what I'm out to get. Sombrero, I get hat and then I'm out again. Got an A1 Chica with a drive like a 3 litre. That's what she needs D for, like the outfit.